I'm so glad that you stayed with me this week. I wanted to get to the other verse. Hear what verse 7 of chapter 6, of the book of Matthew says. But when you pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. It says in verse 8, but not ye therefore, be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knows which things you have need of before you ask him. So he says, hear what? You get into the private space with God, stop trying to talk so much. Stop trying to just make it. I hear people say, oh, for my Christian walk to be meaningful, I've got to spend 2 hours in prayer. I've got to spend 5 hours in prayer. I've got to spend 12 hours in prayer. I've got to fast for a week. And God says, when you get in that space, be real. Don't try to make state, oh Lord, 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 Lord. No. You say what you want to say to God. God is a person. He wants to talk with you. He wants to hear what you have to say. But like any other person, if you've said it 15 times in 3 minutes, I'm not going to hear all 15 of them. And I think what the Bible is trying to communicate is that get to the point. Talk to God about the real issues. Don't try to make up time in the presence of God. Talk to God about some real issues. Don't repeat everything. Speak as if you're speaking to me. But when you're speaking to him, it's reverential, it's respectful, it's laced with humility, because you're talking to God. You're talking to the Father. Not so you don't have to repeat as if God doesn't know. In fact, the scriptures tells us before we even ask, he's aware of it. So I'm talking about how I feel about it, what I think about it, what his word says regarding it. And I'm the matters that I'm wrestling with, I'm able to wrestle with them clearly as God gives the vision, as God gives his word, as God gives revelation, as God gives illumination. I do all of that in the presence of God. And I speak my mind. I tell him where I am. I tell him how I feel. Because I'm talking to my Father in an intimate space. And this is meaningful to me. And in case you didn't get it, it's also meaningful to him. So come on, go pray today. If you prayed and it lacked real virtue and it lacks real meaning, you need to go back, because what you've done is just said a few words. And God wants more than just words. God wants to meet with you and all of you. Not just the words of you, but your heart, your mind. God wants all of you. God has been calling your name because he wants to meet with you today.